September 23rd has been the focus of much prophetic speculation. Some have pointed to it as the possible date of the rapture, the catching away of the church. But what happens if the day comes and goes and nothing extraordinary happens? Does this mean the Bible is wrong? Does it mean our hope has failed? Absolutely not. We know from Daniel's prophecy that the 70th week, the 7-year tribulation, remains a central puzzle in biblical eschatology. The first half is often marked as 1,260 days, and the second slightly longer at 1,290, as referenced in Daniel 12. But here's something vital, according to Daniel 9:27. The tribulation doesn't actually begin with the rapture. It begins with the confirming of a covenant, a 7-year peace treaty involving Israel and many nations. This treaty marks the official start of the prophetic countdown. The rapture may occur before, but the covenant is the clock that starts the final week. Many believers hold the pre-tribulation view that Christ will come for his church before this covenant is signed. September 23rd was tied to this expectation because of its connection to the Feast of Trumpets, but if that day passes without rapture, it does not shatter our faith. It simply reminds us that God's timetable is anchored not in speculation, but in his own appointed signs. The mid-tribulation perspective teaches that the rapture may occur at the halfway point of the 7 years. This view emphasizes Revelation 11 and the sounding of the 7th trumpet, where some see the church being gathered at the midpoint, just before the Great Tribulation, the most intense period of judgment. If September 23rd is not the moment, mid-trib believers would say, keep watching. The covenant may yet be signed, and the midpoint is still ahead. Others hold to the post-tribulation position. This view sees the rapture and the visible return of Christ as one climactic event at the end of the 7 years. Jesus said in Matthew 24:31, immediately after the tribulation, he will send his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect. For post-trib believers, the church is preserved through trial, and Christ coming in glory gathers his people after the refining fire. So what if September 23rd passes quietly? Then we continue in faith. Our salvation has never rested on charts, dates, or timetables. It rests in Christ himself. The Apostle Paul reminds us that we see through a glass darkly. Our understanding of God's timeline is incomplete. But our hope is not in knowing when, it's in knowing who. Whether pre-trib, mid-trib, or post-trib, our faith is not defined by our rapture position, but by our position in Christ. The call remains the same, to watch, to be ready, and to live faithfully until he comes. If September 23rd is not the day, then perhaps tomorrow, or perhaps years from now. But the promise of his return stands unshaken. So if the rapture doesn't happen on September 23rd, what now? We keep looking up, we keep walking in faith, and we keep holding on to the blessed hope that he is coming again.